Hello, and welcome to the video guide for the 2025 Cadillac Optiq, brought to you by Crestview Cadillac in Rochester, Michigan. Here's a table of contents of all the features of your Optiq that will be reviewed in this video. You can fast forward to the timestamp shown, or put your cursor along the red line at the bottom of the video, and you can immediately jump to the portion of the guide that you would like to review. If the Optiq is your first electric vehicle, for the most part it is just like owning and driving a gas-powered car, but the key difference is learning how to keep its battery charged. Your Optiq can support 3 levels of charging: 120 volts, 240 volts, and public DC fast charging. Because the Optiq range is up to 300 miles per charge, which is far above what most owners will drive per day, on most days you may only need to use one of the first two options. Your Optiq comes equipped with charging cords for 120 and 240 volt charging, which can be stored under the load floor in the rear cargo area. 120 volt charging uses a standard 3-prong plug that probably matches most of the outlets in your home or garage. This is by far the slowest charging option, as it can only replenish about 1 or 2 miles of range per hour. However, this may be enough if your daily commute is short enough that you can replenish the charge overnight. 240 volt charging can either use an outlet similar to those used by larger appliances, such as electric stoves and dryers, or use a level 2 AC charger that has been professionally installed at your home. A level 2 AC charger is the most commonly used option for most Optiq owners, as it provides up to 52 miles of range per hour, with a 19.2 kilowatt wall-mounted charging station. Please note these range estimates will vary depending on the current outside temperature, the temperature of the battery, and the status of your home's electric grid. DC fast charging is only available at commercial charging stations, such as EVgo, which can add up to 76 miles of range in 10 minutes, at a rate of up to 190 kilowatts. You can also charge at participating Tesla stations, but only if you order an adapter, which you can do via the My Cadillac app. Your Optiq also offers you choices for when charging is active, to take advantage of lower electricity rates during overnight hours. From the Infotainment home screen, select the charging option. Here you can instruct your Optiq to begin charging as soon as it's plugged in, or to set the time you want charging to be complete. The Charge Later option is best to use if you have a wall charger in your garage, so that you can have it begin charging overnight and be ready by the time you designate. Using the rotary control to the right, you can see how many miles you will gain based on the percentage of battery charge. The charge rate slows down after 80% to help protect the battery, so if your time is limited, you can just charge to 80%, which is usually more than enough for typical daily driving. Touch the home charging location the first time your vehicle is at home, so that it will know the proper location to get the battery temperature prepped for charging. You can also get the battery prepped for a fast charging session before you arrive at a public station by choosing the Fast Charge Prep option. Note that if you already have a charging station included in your route in Google Maps, the Fast Charge Prep will happen automatically on your way there. To plug in your car, press the Cadillac badge on the charge port door to open. Note that for level 1 or 2 charging, you can keep the bottom 2 holes covered, as they are only needed for DC fast charging at a public station. When you plug in, the colored ring around the plug changes color to tell you the status. You will also see the charge level represented within the daytime running lamps and the brake lamps. If you have the charging option set to Charge Now, the ring around the plug should switch to green a few seconds after plugging in. It will blink until it reaches the percentage that you set, and then will stay solid green. If you set it to Charge Later, it will be blue until charging begins overnight. If you need to charge midday, but last had it set for Charge Later, simply unplug for a few seconds and then plug back in. This will switch it back to Charge Now. Electric cars also have the option for regenerative braking. Regenerative braking can provide additional energy to the battery when you lift your foot off of the accelerator. When used to its fullest extent, regenerative braking allows for one-pedal driving, in which the car will rapidly decelerate when you lift your foot off the accelerator pedal. You can turn on one-pedal driving from your Infotainment home screen by choosing the one-pedal icon at the bottom. Switch to Normal to enable moderate regenerative braking, which increases the quicker you remove your foot from the accelerator pedal. Switching to High will provide an even stronger amount of regenerative braking. You can also apply regenerative braking by using the paddle behind the left side of the steering wheel. The amount of brake pressure will increase as you continue to pull the paddle towards you. With this option, you can switch one-pedal driving off, and then apply regenerative braking on demand by using the paddle. The focal point of the Optiq's interior is a 33-inch OLED display. Before you enter the car, you may see the display showing the current estimated range available based on the battery's current state of charge. When you enter the car with the key fob, the car will start by just pressing the brake pedal. Once the vehicle is powered on, you will see the display is divided into 3 distinct sections. The portions of the screen to the left and right of the steering wheel are touchscreens, and the portion to the right of the steering wheel can also be controlled via this multifunction control wheel, or MFC. You can rotate the wheel to highlight options on the display, click the wheel left, right, up, or down to move between menus, and press the center of the wheel to select. Directly in front of the MFC are shortcut buttons for audio, phone, and navigation, as well as back and home buttons. Above that is the volume control wheel. To turn off the car, touch the Vehicle Off button in the taskbar at the bottom. If you want the car to remain on for a longer period, touch the next button to the right to keep the car on for an additional 60 minutes. Be sure to press the Vehicle Off button if you decide to leave the car before the 60 minutes is elapsed, to avoid draining your battery. On the far left of the display, you can switch between several different display options. Touch Gauge to change the view of your gauge cluster. You can choose Tour or Sport, or link it to switch based on your current drive mode. Touch Energy to provide a more detailed picture of the vehicle's energy usage. Touch Map to display a map of your current location, as well as navigation information if you currently have a route in progress. Touch Assist while using Adaptive Cruise to get a visual confirmation of your Optiq adjusting its speed in relation to the car in front of you. If you prefer a screen that is less distracting, touch Clean to show just the speedometer and battery range, and no additional information on either side. Touch the menu button in the lower left corner to adjust your heads-up display or adjust your trip odometer. Swipe your finger left or right on the screen to switch between trip odometers. You can also change your headlamp settings here and turn on or off Lane Keep Assist. The right side of the display manages most of your vehicle's functions. Your commonly used functions are in the taskbar at the bottom. Press Home to see a list of the menu options. Swipe left or right to see each page. Your Optiq also comes standard with Google Assistant, which allows you to provide voice commands to make calls on your phone or navigate to your destination using the car's built-in Google Map. Although you can press the Google Assistant icon to initiate a command, at any time you can just say, "Hey Google," to have Google respond to your command. If you have a Gmail account, you can also access the Google Play Store to download apps to your car in the same ways you would download apps to your phone. Choose the music icon to access your infotainment selections. Press the box at the top to switch between audio sources. For AM and FM, you can seek to the next station, enter the frequency manually, or choose from a list. For Sirius XM channels, press either channel button to bring up a scrolling list of channels. Once you choose the channel, save it to your favorites by holding down the name in the list. You can then step through the saved channels using the arrow keys on your steering wheel. You can also look for channels by touching the list icon at the bottom, and then choosing the category you wish to search. Choose the Google Maps icon to bring up your map display. You can touch the search option to enter in the address of your destination, or simply say, "Hey Google," followed by an address destination to start a navigation route. To find charging stations, touch the lightning bolt icon, or you can choose charging stations from the categories listing within the search menu. Choose drive modes to switch between Tour, Sport, or Snow Ice modes. The Optiq comes standard with all-wheel drive, so both the front and rear motors will activate as needed. Tour and Sport primarily uses the rear motor, whereas Snow Ice primarily uses the front motor. You can also choose My Mode to select your own custom drive mode. You can access your 360-degree camera from the infotainment screen, or when you shift into reverse. Here you can see various views both front and back, as well as from above or side to side. Your rear view mirror can also switch to a camera view. Use the buttons on the bottom to adjust brightness, zoom in or out, or shift up and down. Your wiper controls are on the turn signal stalk. The front wiper is operated by rotating the left wheel within the stalk. Switching to auto activates the rain sense mode. The more you rotate down, the more sensitive it is to the water on the windshield, until you rotate all the way to low or high. Push the button on the end of the stalk to activate the front windshield washer. The second wheel on the right is not for the rear wiper, because there is no rear wiper on the Optiq. Instead, it activates the washer for the rear camera lenses. If the car is locked when you approach the car with the key fob, the door handles will pop out. However, the car is still locked. You can then only open the locked door as long as you have the key fob with you. You can then lock the car by pressing the lock button on your key fob. If the car is left unlocked and the handles are not popped out, just push on the back portion of the handle to pop the handle out manually. You can pair your phone to your Optiq to make and receive phone calls, as well as receive text messages. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are not available in the Optiq, so if you have apps on your phone that you would still like to access through the car, you can download them directly to the car by using the Play Store icon. Note that you will need a Gmail address and an active OnStar subscription to download apps. To pair your phone, touch the phone icon in the app tray at the bottom of the screen. Choose Manage Phones and then Add Phone. Open your phone settings and locate your Bluetooth list. Look for a new Cadillac entry that matches the one you see on the car screen. Continue the pairing process on both your phone and the car screen. Once it is complete, you'll see your phone listed, along with a plus sign to the left to add another phone. Note that a new icon should appear at the bottom, which will bring you back to the same screen if you ever need to make any changes or add phones later. Choose options to make changes to the phone settings, such as First to Connect. which ensures this phone will connect first when there are multiple paired phones in the car. You can also temporarily disconnect or completely remove the Bluetooth connection for this phone. To adjust your seats based on which key you have, first adjust your seat and the outside mirrors to your desired setting, and then press the set button followed by either 1 or 2. To have the seat move backward when you enter or exit the car, press set followed by the last button below number 2. If you want everything to adjust automatically after you start the car, go to Settings, then Vehicle, and then Seat Controls. Switch on both the entry and exit toggle switches. Note that if you enter the car with the wrong key, you can override the seat movement by just holding either button 1 or 2 until the seats move to your preset position. There are still many other details of the Optiq that wasn't included here. You can also reach out to your product specialist at Crestview Cadillac to ask any questions, and even schedule a time to come back to the dealership with your Optiq to get a refresher on any features you still need help with. Thanks again for purchasing your 2025 Optiq at Crestview Cadillac in Rochester, Michigan.